Really feels like we've been doing a lot of collabs lately. We got the Reebok Packer collab. What was the one that we just did before that one?
The Jordan 2s.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. But this one right here, they might be my favorite. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today, we've got a detailed look and review on these bad boys right here. This is some 80s goodness. And these smell good, dude. But anyways, these guys right here are the New Balance 650Rs. It's a 80s basketball shoe brought back to life by the good folks over at New Balance. This particular colorway, or this particular version within the 4-pair lineup of colorways, is brought to you by ALD. This was actually an interesting release because they released, I think it was earlier this year, or I don't want to call it released, but they were fulfilling orders because they actually did a pre-order, something that we've actually talked about on this channel that I think Jordan Brand should be doing, right? So like what they actually did was they took this shoe, all 4 colorways, they did a pre-order late last year, fulfilled orders about 6 or 7 months, maybe 8 months, I can't remember what it was, later, and then they used what I assume is the profits from all of those pre-orders, and they made a general release, which actually released the day that we're recording this.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, it's May 5th, and they sold out instantly. So I think that that's actually really cool, and not just shows, but it proves. It's not even like a thought like, oh, wouldn't it be interesting if? No, it's now proof of concept. It's possible if a brand would want to do it, where they can give everybody what they want. If you miss the pre-order, there's a general release. Everybody wins, right? Right. Now, these guys right here obviously are the 650Rs. They are a high top version, essentially, of this. I don't know why the 550 has a different number. So New Balance got some weird going on with their numbers. One of our Discord members actually explained to me with their skate line that the higher the number of the model, the more tech is in the model. Now, I don't know if that is the same thing for their basketball model or their running model.
It is on the running side, because 1080
really
is the top of the line.
The performance running side, not the lifestyle.
Performance running side.
Okay. All I know is that this is a general release colorway. This is a collab. I was very curious to know if the quality of materials were going to be greater, and I have to say they are, but not by much. So these guys right here have similar style cuts of leather to the low top or the 550 general release. And yes, there are ALD versions of the lows, which are probably very similar to this guy right here. But this guy has a full cut of leather, whereas these bad boys right here were basically particle board version of leather. So kind of what you see on a general release Nike or Jordan. The high top version has a much thicker leather that's full leather all the way through. The main difference between the two though, obviously, like you can tell that one's stark white and one's kind of like a cream color, but it's the PU coat on top of the leather. So this one right here feels kind of rubbery and sticky. I actually don't like it, even though I love how these look. These look amazing. But this one right here just feels more like natural leather, even though it's still got a polyurethane coat on top. So are the leathers very different? I'd say no. Are the leathers on these worth, what are they going for? Like 300, 400 bucks retail or resale? I don't think that's worth it either. So if you can get them for retail price, I think that it's a good buy. Anything above that though, I'd say that you're wasting your money. Based off of materials by itself. If you're just trying to be a hype beast, or you're just trying to look cool, or you really love this model, I don't know what it is, do whatever you want. Now, something that I thought was really interesting though is that I was looking up some original images of this shoe, and I saw 2 different versions of the 650 from the 80s, one of which has a massive collar area, which is super weird. The other ones look very similar to this. I will say though that the newer versions, I don't know what it is, but these modern 2022 versions, the shape of them just looks a little bit cleaner to me. However, the back view, this is something we were talking about, I can't remember what video it was, but where I didn't like the tapered. I know that I did bring up the 2s. I just can't remember what video it was. We record a lot. But I don't like how it's nice and bulky and then it goes and scoops down like this. It's just weird.
It was about Reeboks, like the classics.
Was it?
Yeah, you don't like how they bubble over.
It was the classic leather. Yeah, and then I brought up the 2. That's right. And that's something that I still don't like with this particular model. It seems to taper in a weird way down here at the bottom, where it's puffy up here, very thin down here. That was not on the original. Based off of images that I've seen, it was very streamlined and straight all the way down. I feel like that looks better, but that's my only real complaint. Everything else though, it looks like a really good retro, like 1-for-1. Now, as far as the tech features are concerned, we do have a rubberized cup sole right here. This particular version obviously obviously is already aged, so it's got that off-white look. The traction pattern doesn't look good, to be honest, but it might work. I'm just never gonna try it. Like, I would never hoop in this. And then something that I think is interesting is just like a Reebok Classic or a Club C, Revenge, whatever, all of those models, they have the open window right here that shows you the PU wedge inside the shoe. So that's the midsole. Now the insole is just like the 550 or the low top version of the 650. I don't know. So weird. But basically we have Ortholite, and that's also inside of this just basic foam carrier. So this is sort of like their arch support within the shoe. Now again, like I was saying, the upper on these guys is full leather everything. I don't think that they're any greater. I mean, it's better leather for sure than this. I just don't feel like it's leaps and bounds better. It's something that I was actually surprised with. So I will give a little bit of credit to Nike or Jordan when they do a collab with any of these brands. You can definitely tell because they are so far greater material quality wise than any of their GR stuff, then it kind of makes you wonder, why am I buying any of the GRs? Whereas that's not really the case with these to me. I feel like these are almost on par with each other. Yes, the leather's better, not significantly better. So I'm just kind of disappointed in that, just because I know that New Balance has their leather done right. Like, we've done many videos and I feel like they know what they're doing. I just don't know why. Like, this should be like super soft premium. But one of my favorite features of this is actually the high top collar. Yes, I do prefer lows. I do prefer lows of this particular model as well. I think that they look really clean. However, I cannot wear my lows like I normally do with my shoes, which is kind of like this, where I like them loose. I like the laces dangling. It's just kind of how I grew up liking my shoes. I can't do that with these because the laces are so long and the collar is so short that it makes the shoe look really, really awkward. I don't like that feature on the low tops, but I love it on the high tops. And on top of that, all of this is very 80s. Like, it's foam and it's textile. It feels amazing on foot. It doesn't feel restrictive like a Jordan 1 high. This reminds me of what a Jordan 1 used to be back in '85, which a lot of people don't know is that that shoe was actually a foam-based collar. So for these guys right here, this little top line where you see the suede on this particular shoe, the original version of the shoe was actually exposed foam, and then they painted a leather paint on top of it. And so that's why a lot of original '85 Air Jordan 1s have like this weird cracking look. It's because it's not actually leather, it's just paint on top of foam. And it made it so that you can actually move and be mobile in the high top, but all of the overlays were support features. So who was it that had the Y bar? Was it Reebok? Oh no, it was not Reebok, it was Converse. Converse had the Y bar with the weapons. And that's what this guy reminds me of. It's not a Y or anything, but I think it's cool. Now on top of all of that stuff, these guys come with 3 extra laces. So they come equipped with this matching upper lace, which is that cream color. They also have these gray laces, and then they also have these other cream laces, in case you wanted a different shade of cream. And that's pretty much all she wrote as far as the actual shoe is concerned. Now, if you're interested in the fit, they do fit true to size. So whatever size you typically wear, or if you've already got a pair of these guys right here, I've heard people actually say that they go up and down half a size. So whatever you actually wear in these, that's what I would order in this as well.
So his big complaint with these was, like, I can see it right now, there's a scuff on the toe. The dirt like didn't just stay on the top, it like sucked into the shoe. Whatever
polyurethane coating, so that top layer that they colored the shoe with, I tried to explain it where it feels sticky and rubbery. It feels cheap, and I don't like it, and it's just like really surprising for New Balance, because New Balance typically puts out, especially their suede products are bar none probably some of the best stuff that you can get outside of a Puma suede or a I don't know how to say this. Saucony. I don't know if it's Saucony or Saucony.
It's okay. Saucony. Like, you're supposed to think of sock on knee.
Gotcha. So those are kind of those brands that I feel do really great stuff with their suede materials. So I was expecting with this shoe leather like that, and it's not like that. And you can feel the difference. What do you think? Are they like vastly different, or is this like, yeah, it's better, but not by much?
Yeah, it feels like it has an extra coat to it. So that's what I was gonna say. Like, do you think maybe this version won't have that type of problem since it's not so tacky?
It's possible. What I think is gonna happen is that this version will just break in nicer to these. I feel like I have to break them in every time I wear them, which is very annoying. It's not like my Jordan 1s where like they break in and like they're good. You know what I mean? Like, this is a shoe where I'm like, bruh, I don't, again, like it's just weird. They look great. This to me is like a high heel for like men.
What?
like how like ladies will like put their feet through hell.
That's what I'm doing right now.
That's because you got some Jordan 1 lows. They don't use good materials on those. You stay away from those unless they got the SE label on them.
I was trying to impress somebody today.
Consider him impressed. Anyways, with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. Let us know what you think about the 650s and the 550s, and if you have both, not the GR versions. I'm talking about if you got one GR and one of the
fancy ones.
Yeah, one of the collab versions. Let me know if you feel like me, where you're just kind of like, it's not really leaps and bounds better like you'd expect. Just feels redundant. Feels like much more of the same. Sound off below. Let us know. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support, and until next time, guys, have a good one.